Welcome to another episode of the Unfolding Life podcast, where we discuss life and all its possibilities and responsibilities. We are your hosts, Gail,
and Shakir.
and today we have a very special guest, our friend Jewel. She is a graphic designer, a good friend of ours, and someone we consider, to have a certain amount of wisdom. We really wanted to get her opinion on today's topic. Speaking of which, today's topic is, drum roll please,
Bam, 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 bam.
are there any good men or women left in the world? Now, today we'll be discussing what makes a man a good man, what makes a woman a good woman, if there are any of these precious gems left in the world, and what the rest of us can do to improve. All right, so let's get right into it. All right, so now we move on to the women. Shaquille, how can a woman improve?
Boy,
Okay, then. I'm ready for this one.
boy, I have no clue what. For me, it's just going to go back to the women. See, a lot of the same thing as the men. You need to find yourself. Um, you need to, because a lot of females, and I learned this as I was coming up. A lot of females have a lot of trauma. Men
True.
too, but
Yeah.
females have a lot of trauma, and I think that we should they should seek guidance, a bit of counseling for that, to find themselves, um, before again trying to be a wife to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Um, so that's one of those things. I think that again, I think you should just respect yourself. Want good for yourself, want good for your significant other, and both men and women, I think, should try to strive to have their significant other grow with them.
All right, right.
Don't be selfish and think about yourself. Think about how things would affect the person that you're with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and try to incorporate their feelings. Both men and women should do this.
Mm-hmm.
Incorporate your significant other's feelings into whatever it is that you're doing.
Right,
Don't
right.
think about yourself. Yeah.
All right, so Joel, how can women improve?
All right. So points that Shakil said, agree with that. I would go back to communication.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly communicate. What you're looking for. What some of your expectations and stuff are, because I think as well, if women communicate these things, then the man would be able to get a fair chance and say, you know what, I don't think I'm ever going to want kids. I don't think I'm ever going to want to get married. Why go into a relationship and don't clearly communicate some of these things? Down the line, you find out that he doesn't want to get married any at all. He doesn't believe in it. He
Mm-hmm.
does not want to have kids any at all.
Yeah.
And then,
Right.
in a 2 year relationship, and you'd be like, oh my God, like how did I reach here?
Mm-hmm.
And clear
Good.
clear communication as well goes into like things that you dislike, or things that like are icks for you. So
Right.
don't think so your partner know what your icks are, or no, don't think that your partner know all your icks if you don't clearly communicate what they are. It might as simple as leave a toilet up at night time, and you're going to the bathroom and dropping a toilet,
Oh
and,
gosh.
and you come out, and you literally just upset for the whole night. You get up in the morning, you get up with that same way, and you don't say anything about it, and it keeps on happening, and you just keep on irk your feelings.
Mm-hmm. I
But
don't
yeah.
think they get how irritated.
But clearly communicate like some of these things. What I would say as well is, have your own life, and do not be, so needy to the point where you suffocate your partner. Because
Mm-hmm.
what ends up happening is that if you don't have your own goals and your own things that you're passionate about and stuff like that, you're gonna be like, what am I gonna call it? You're gonna be
Dependent
like
on that
one little,
person.
yeah, you're gonna be like a little dummy in the corner where, if you move
Mm-hmm.
this, you move this, so if stuff like that.
Yeah,
Have your own things that
Yeah.
you're passionate about and stuff like that, so suffocate the
that's true.
relationship, so strangle the other person, because it's like having your own thing makes you your own individual.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Makes you a lot more interesting,
it
makes the
makes a lot more
relationship more
interesting,
interesting.
of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
That goes back to finding yourself.
Yeah, it
Yes,
definitely
it
Yeah,
does.
does.
It does. That's why
find
I say
yourself
I
before.
agree with your point. Trust me.
Yeah, find yourself before you jump in a relationship. You
Yep.
know. Um,
Know your likes
yeah,
and dislikes and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Find out what your pet peeves are, because a lot of people don't even know what pet peeves actually are.
Mm-hmm.
Some people
True.
just know that things annoy them, but
Yes.
Right.
they don't know that. Listen, that's something that's going to ick me every time that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So find out, what your pet peeves are,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and make that clear, to the
Clearly
person.
communicate what they
Yeah,
are. Honestly, don't just think, say, all right, him know something like this. Him probably don't know. Him probably don't even notice. That
Right.
in his
right.
own world, I do him stuff, and him probably don't notice. You come
And
out
I
of the
can
bathroom and you
100% tell
hit your
you,
teeth. Hold on, you come out of the bathroom and you hit your teeth, and
Right.
him not go walk go in there go look away you hit your teeth when I bathroom.
oh,
I'm telling you,
no,
he will never
definitely.
know.
I can tell you that we don't pay any attention. We really don't pay attention to that unless you bring it to our attention.
Unless you bring it up. Exactly.
Right. So not to say that we don't care enough. But unless you say, hey, listen, that I don't like that. If I
Mm-hmm.
see where, because sometimes, even with Gail, um, things happen sometimes, and it doesn't click, but I just notice like for an hour, 2 hours, she has an attitude. I don't know what happened, I just realize the attitude.
Oh my god.
So, and unless she says to me like, hey, you did this, and I put back and I say, oh, that is where the attitude starts for real.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even notice.
And then some of the time we need to just conscious of these things as well and say, all right, cool. Like it really annoy me and stuff like that. Me not trying to nag him or whatever, but let me just say it and him know say from now on, I really don't like this. Please don't do it
Yeah.
Yeah,
again. Yeah.
and and
Make life
and
so much easier.
definitely, us men, we need to make an effort to. Said this already in the last podcast. We need to make an effort to that when the person says that, hey, I don't like this, make an effort to actually
Fix
accept
it.
it and
Mm-hmm.
fix it.
Yeah,
Not just make it fall upon their face, because that is going to make the relationship continue down a bad path.
that's
Mm-hmm.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
All right. So my take on it now. I think after you find yourself, you need to build on that. You need to develop, you know, more of a personality. So you've met yourself where you're at now. Who do you want to become? What kind of partner do you want? You need to become the person who can attract and be compatible with, you know, that person that you want.
Hmm.
So when I say build yourself, I don't mean just financially. Of course, yes, try to secure your finances, become financially literate, but you know, develop new hobbies. Um, Learn a different language if you can. Learn a different skill, even if it's just for a hobby or if it's for a side hustle or something else. Become someone you would be excited to meet, who would fascinate you if you were to meet them tomorrow in a coffee shop or on the street or in the supermarket somewhere. You know, develop certain parts of yourself that you never dreamt of developing after you found out who you are, where you are now.
right.
All right, so because I'm telling you, if I had done that when I was younger, it would be over for everybody. But yeah.
All right. All right.
but but yeah, develop yourself. Like
That's
just
true.
yeah, become the best version of you possibly can be. And it's not going to happen overnight, but start the
Mm-mm.
process, as
Yeah.
early as you possibly can. That's what I would say for both men and women, but we're talking to women also, definitely do that.
Yeah, and I would say
Yeah,
as well, I would add to that and say as well, before you go out and seek the partner and stuff like that, spend some
Mm-hmm.
time by yourself.
Mm.
Definitely
Mm-hmm.
spend some time by yourself, and by spending time with yourself, you will learn so much, just so much.
Right.
Because
so
some
much.
of the time we get
Sometimes
caught
you
up
will
with
find
the,
out.
huh?
I was going to say, sometimes spending time with yourself, you gonna find out things about yourself that you don't even like.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, and you're gonna have to learn to accept it or change it. Honestly,
Yeah,
Right.
yes.
yeah.
Oh, all right, guys. So that is today's podcast. It has been a pleasure. I really loved hearing Joel's views. Shaquille made me laugh a couple times, as usual.
Always.
But you guys know the questions. You heard the questions we asked. So I want to hear your views now. So please put them down in the comments. Let's have a little discussion there. Build our community, continue today's vibes and everything. Don't forget that the links for for our social media, if you want to link up with us outside of YouTube, they're in the description. Tell us what you thought of the show today. What you thought, your answers to the questions are. And we look forward to meeting with you next time. Until then, keep living life.
Bye.
All right, bye guys.